This video is going to be talking about the group special occasion speech and just walking you through some of the things you need to think about as you're working on this speech. First off, this is hopefully going to be a speech where you're going to be able to work with others and have some fun. I'm not looking for this to be a super stressful speech. That's why it's at the end of the semester, and especially since I front-loaded so much of the work, I really wanted you to have some fun with this one. You'll notice you'll have a little bit more time to work on this speech than you did on your informative speech, and that's because you're going to be working with the group, and generally group work takes a little bit longer, so I wanted to give you a little bit more time with that. This will be a 100-point speech. Part of your grade will be an individual grade where I grade your individual speech. The other part will be a group grade based on the group work that you complete and then the overall cohesion of your group speech. So something to think about, make sure that you're doing your best quality work. You will have both group and individual prep work questions to complete, as well as an individual outline and a group outline to complete. You will then also need to evaluate your group members and turn in a reflection for this speech. So that's going to be important stuff to think about. Now with this special occasion speech, we're talking about this in class, but I wanted to make sure I put a video up about it too, in case you were curious about it in advance. With this speech, you'll be required to give an individual presentation that's 3 to 5 minutes long. But in addition to that, you're going to need to tie your individual presentation into a larger group presentation. So you're going to be paired with somewhere between 3 and 4 people, and you will be creating an overall presentation. There's going to be a couple of days in class that we're specifically going to have class time available. However, there will also be days where you will kind of be on your own. You're going to have a week or so, I think, in there to be able to schedule your own class or schedule your own group meeting times. Now, in the past, when I've done this assignment, I've had students say, I think that we needed more in-class time to do this. And in the past, I've given students time during a week off of classes to meet with their group members during class time. So if at the end of this you say, you know, I really wish we had more class time, I'm not going to be super sympathetic because I gave you class time that was off, that was time that was on your own to schedule meetings, and if you choose not to schedule group meeting times until the day before the speech is due, that's going to be your own problem. You need to solve these issues for yourself, and I'm giving you enough time in advance for you to be able to schedule those group meetings in advance. So let's go through this just a little bit. The attire that you're going to be wearing for this speech is going to be something that's going to need to be suitable for your topic. So you don't necessarily need to wear a suit or tie or dress pants or things like that, but it shouldn't be things that are going to distract your audience, like shirts with wording, revealing clothing, or noisy earrings, things like that. If you're giving a wedding toast, for example, you wouldn't necessarily need to dress up like the bride. If you wanted to, you can, and you'll probably get extra points for that. But you would want to dress up in something nicer than just jeans, because most people aren't going to wear jeans to a wedding. Okay? Your introduction and conclusion are going to be less formal with this speech, but they still need to be present, and that's a problem that I usually see students having, is they forget to put in things like relevance and credibility. Now in this specific speech, when you're talking about credibility, things you want to think about are, you don't need to say, I've done a lot of research on this couple, or I've done a lot of research on this individual, and that's what makes me a knowledgeable person, because that actually just makes you sound like a creeper. It's not what we want to do. Instead, you want to say, I've known this person for so long, whatever it is. This person is my best friend. And that's all you need to have for a credibility statement. But you still need to tell the audience why you are a person that can talk about this person, okay? You still need to relate to us that we were all there for the wedding this afternoon, or we were all touched in some way. All of our lives were touched in some way by this person who's passed away, and blah, 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 whatever it is, okay? So make sure you do include those parts of the introduction and the parts of the conclusion. Additionally, you want to make sure that you're talking about how you specifically connected to this person, award, or group, okay? There needs to be that personal connection. Like I said, with some of these special occasion speeches, being genuine is incredibly important. So if you are not being genuine, it's not going to come across genuine. So you need to tell us how you're connected to the person or award or group. And I'll talk more about that in terms of when we get into the topics. Additionally, you're going to need to transition well between each individual presentation. So watch that video on group presentations. It talks about how to do that. You're also going to need to create some kind of an introduction and some kind of a conclusion for your group presentation. Now, that's not to say that the first person who speaks has to give an attention getter, relevance, credibility, etc. for your whole group. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is you need to have something in there that indicates what your group is going to be talking about, and that you have some kind of a plan for being a cohesive group presentation. See that video that I put up about group presentations for more details on what I'm looking for. You will need to turn on 2 outlines, a personal individual outline as well as a group outline. So make sure you're ready to turn those in, and there is a sample group outline up on Angel. There are going to be 3 different types of presentations that you might be giving in this speech. You might be in the wedding toast group, you might be in the eulogy or tribute group, or you might be in the presenting an award or receiving an award group. Okay? We're going to assign these in class, so don't worry too much about which group you're going to be in. You'll be assigned based on what things you indicate you're most interested in. So if you really want to give a tribute speech, you're going to list that as number 1 as your choice. So maybe you list it that you want to do tribute and then wedding, and then you know, if you had to, you'd present an award or receive an award, but it's not your preference. So that's how you'll be grouped up for that. Each individual type of presentation has certain things that I'm going to ask you to do, and so on the special instructions page, this is going to talk about what you need to do depending on which group you end up in. As a part of your group work, you're going to need to complete group preparation work questions. And basically what this is that you're going to need to complete questions to prepare for your specific presentation as a group. These are designed to help you walk through what you're going to need to think about as you're putting together this group presentation. And again, group work or prep questions really are designed to get you thinking about how this presentation is going to come together. So this isn't something to just blow off. Use this as a way to plan your presentation. In addition to the group questions, you're also going to have individual prep work questions to complete. And these again look very similar to the types of preparation questions you've had to do in the past. So shouldn't be anything too difficult. The assignment due dates are listed on this page, so you'll make sure you want to go through that and have those written down, be organized. That's also up on the class calendar. Now, you'll see that there are going to be two grading rubrics for this. The first grading rubric will be a group grading rubric. This is where that 20 points comes in. This is how I'm going to grade you and your group members. So I'm looking for an introduction and conclusion. I'm looking for group cohesion, transitions between individuals, connections between the presentations, all that. If your group members if you and your group don't turn in your prep questions or don't turn an outline, that's going to be something that's going to impact your grade. So just know that that's kind of going to be some things I'm looking for. And then if you look down here at the last part of it, you'll see that this is the special occasion individual group grade, or individual grade rather. So this is what I'm going to be grading your individual speech on. A couple of things to notice. In terms of the attire, so the things that you're wearing, if you just wear appropriate attire, you're not going to lose any points, which is what you want to do, obviously, not lose points. But if you match your group, if your group members choose to all dress up in some certain way and you match your group, you're going to get a couple extra credit points. And if you go over and above, you're going to get some additional extra credit points. If you come dressed as a bride or as a groom, or if you wear a full suit or something like that, you're going to get some points for that because that takes a little bit of extra effort. And so that's something to think about. Additionally, make sure that you're going through the content and you're covering all the content areas you need to. Do you have the organization areas you need to, that type of thing. When you're going through for time, the time on this is going to be graded in the same way as it was for the informative speech. So if you are not, if you're not within your time limits, you are going to lose some points, and that's not going to be a good thing. So make sure that that's something you look at. It's a really stupid way to lose a half a letter grade or a letter grade. I do not want you to lose that many points. Finally, you're going to need to complete those evaluations of your group members. And basically that's just going to be completing a survey on Angel. I already have that up, and I'll be expecting you to complete that after you've completed your speech. Then your group members are going to evaluate you. So that's going to be 10 points of your 80 points of individual grade. Whatever they give you, I'm going to average that out, and that's going to be worth those points. So if you're a bum of a group member, that will hurt you. If you're really a bum of a group member, if you're somebody who is really gone and doesn't attend any of your group meetings and don't have a good reason for it and all that, it may impact you more than those 10 points. That's going to be on a case-by-case basis and dependent on your group members. If you have a group member who's a bum group member, come talk to me about it. And if you think that they deserve less than those 10 points, if you think that they deserve to lose points, come make a case to me and we'll talk about it, okay? So this is that special occasion speech. Let me know if you have any questions.